when you have something locked in, you see the progress. It's not a such thing as not seeing the progress, right? The things you're doing, they're either getting you closer or they're hurting you or they're taking you back. There's no in between. There's nothing you can do that doesn't either get you closer when you know where you're going or take you further away from what you got going on. So there's no excuse of not saying I don't see the progress. When you know who you are and you know where you're going, you're gonna easily be able to measure what you got going on. And that's point blank period. So understand who you are, where you're going, and you're gonna be locked in. So welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr. To the right of me, we got the Rocket, the heights of 7 hills, Mr. Eddie Rocket. How you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling pretty good, bro.
Honoring the past and inspiring the future,
man. Man, it's the month, man.
Still Black History Month, y'all.
Yeah.
Honoring the past, inspiring the future. Mr. Rocket is inspiring you to, well, we ain't got nothing for sale. I'm about to go into a pitch, trying to sell some hoodies. We ain't selling that. But again, man, we hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Again, one thing I do want to put it on your radar. We almost out of Q1, man. This is the end of February, right? February is ending. You got one more month. We're at the end of Q1. I hope you're doing the things that you sought out to do, right? I hope you're being the person that you say you are. I hope you're achieving the things that you say you want to do. Who am I? Where am I going? Who am I? Where am I going? We just gave you all the information from the leadership conference. I hope y'all are applying those things that we gave you. If you didn't watch that episode, make sure you go right back and watch the episode of the leadership conference. We gave a lot of tips and tools to be able to, so you can chase success, right? And chase failure. Call myself. Chase failure. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the last episode and you understand why I say chase failure and not chase success. But today, make sure you stop what you're doing right now. Like, subscribe, and comment. Stop what you're doing. Like, size. Jeez. Maybe I'm going too fast. Stop what you're doing and like, subscribe, and comment. There you go. Cut Different Academy coming soon. Come invest in the futures that are going to change the world. What's up, EL2A family, man? Come invest in the futures that are going to change the world. What you see here right now, man, we are reimagining education, right? We are giving these young boys and showing them who they are and where they're going. We're creating a school to career pipeline, and it's happening right here on this property, man. So let's go, EL2A fam. We're going to have a QR code that pops up. You scan that code, all right? And it's going to take you and tell you everything you need to know to come help us invest in the futures that's going to change the world. Let's go. Yeah. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, what's going to happen with Cut Different Academy? Ocala will never be the same after Cut Different Academy comes to the city, right? Ocala won't be the same, right? We're going to have a pipeline of young men that come and change this community, right? Young men, right? They're going to go into good, strong men, right? Because strong men create strong families, and strong families create strong communities, right? We're going to change the game here in Ocala, and we're going to be able to change the dynamic of what it's supposed to, what it looks like. The standard, the expectation of what it looks like to be a young man here. And what happens is we're controlling what's cool. We're going to change what it is to be cool here. What it's going to be cool to be able to understand who you are, where you're going, and be able to be on your path to success for your life. And we're going to do that with Cut Different Academy. So make sure you come help us invest in the future that's going to change the world quickly. Today, Brother Rocket, we're going to have a quick conversation. We just had last episode, we talked about our leadership conference, our takeaways. We talked about some dynamic, impactful speakers and what they brought to us, right? What they brought to us. Even in that episode I mentioned, right? Some people left that conference motivated and inspired. Others left with purpose and focus, right? So today on this episode, I want to talk about growth, right? I want to talk about the person that left the conference, right? Or left the episode, the last episode that we gave, but you had to go back home and you had to go in that room by yourself and you had to look yourself in the mirror and you had to like, why am I not growing? And I want to have a conversation, man. Like, I'm opening it up with this question. Why is it so hard? Simple, right? Simple, but impactful. Why do you think it's so hard to grow?
I think the reason why it's so hard to grow is because we have people that, a lot of times you got people that makes success look so easy. So when, instead of giving I guess, because they do give the tangible steps it takes to get there, but a lot of times the people that want to grow, when they tell you the steps that you have to take, sometimes we want to cut out the middleman. We want to just get straight there. But I think, so it's funny because John Maxwell, he actually said it. He said a lot of people want to do the do, but they don't want to do the did. Yeah. So you got to hear that. A lot of people want to do the do, but they don't want to do the did. So it's those the steps in between that it takes to get there. We just want to jump straight over and get to success. So like you say, so when you leave, some people, when they left, for me, I'll talk about myself. Normally it's funny because I think back to my childhood. So when I grew up, I'll take notes. I was a great note taker, but I would never go back home and pull out my notes to study until it's time for the test. And that's if I even pull them out to study for the test right before the test. A lot of times I'll be like, okay, well, I already wrote the notes, so I remember what was said 2 or 3 days ago, thinking I'm going to remember what was said, and I never did. So what I did this time is the day after the conference, I just remember pulling out the notes, and I went through all the speakers, all the notes that I had. So I went back. I didn't do but I went back and I did what I didn't do before, and I went back to see what they said in between. So again, I think to answer that question, you said, why do a lot of people? Why is it hard for them to grow? It's because they didn't want to do that middle part.
Yeah. So you done did something. You done did something. That's probably you done did something. You look what you done did. But again, that goes back to what you said about John Maxwell. It's, people don't want to do they want to do the do, but they don't want to do the did, right? So to unpack that, right, we going back to what you said, you're looking at these folks on social media, right? And a lot of folks are giving highlights. A lot of people have done did, right? But they're just showing you the highlights. They're not showing you the struggles, right? They didn't show, you're not seeing what it took to get there, and you're catching them where they at. You're not catching them at where it was. And in the highlight of you seeing it, you're putting your simple situation, yourself in their situation already, thinking you're supposed to be there. Just because y'all both speakers, right? Just because you speak don't mean you go right on the stage and talk with John Maxwell. He just literally sat there and said he done did and spoke all these times. And I think that is a lot of people don't grow because of that. Like, I truly agree with you. Like, I think people don't grow. Social media plays a huge role in that. And I think a lot of, for me, right, and I love what you said, but for me personally, I think people don't grow because you're in your own way. Right? I think a lot of people don't grow because you're in your own way. We put roadblocks and barriers that aren't even there, right? You start creating monsters that aren't even there. And those monsters may come from familiar things. So then your family had these problems, so you adopt them for yourselves, or just because environmental problems, just because the folks down the street deal with something, you think you're going to deal with it, or just because I'm from this side of town that I'm going to deal with that, right? Like, we adopt trauma. We adopt things that's not for us. Just because I grew up over here, we never liked them over there, so we beef it, right? I don't like them, right? So we adopt these negative factors that's just going to stop us from reaching success, right? Because it's always going to come down to, well, I can't because of that. Yes, you can. You can be the changer. You can be the person that changes the trajectory of this whole situation by choosing to not believe in that, or choosing to say, that ain't me, because it's not. Just had a conversation with somebody else today. Do you understand that you literally, as a person, add value everywhere you go? You should, right? Because you are yourself. You are unique. There's no one like you. You're the only you. So any place that you go in, you should be able to change that place, because no one can give a perspective like yours. No one else can bring to that room what you can bring, because they're not you. Think about that from a level, right? Most rooms we go into, we feel small because we don't know something. Again, not saying you should go in every room and talk, right? I'm not saying that, right? Some rooms you don't got the information to talk, so be quiet. But even in that room, you still are unique. You are different than other people. So if you were educated to say something, whatever you say in that room is going to be different. And we got to understand that. So again, I think we get in our own way because we don't really understand who we are, right? Well, again, we are a child of the Most High. We are created in God's image, like all those things, right? We say these things, but we actually don't operate in it. So I think people don't grow, right? Because they are in their own way. They stop themselves from growth. So after being in the room, the leadership room, right? So being in the leadership room, and you just said how you went back home and you dove into your book, which is a great thing. I did the same thing. But what happens when it's just you, right? And I'm asking you, but I'm talking about another person, right? That, like, when it's just you don't read the book, you did these different things, but what now? So what we do?
Well, you just said it though. I think a lot. One of them said, I can't remember who said it, but they say you should talk to yourself. Yeah, I mean, because when you talk to yourself, it could, like you just said, it could go either way. It could go. John Gordon said it. Yeah, it could go good, or it could go bad. What are you gonna tell yourself? And I think so. When it's just you in that room, I mean, it's the positive things that you tell yourself, or the negative things that you tell yourself. I am going to be successful. I am going to reach this next level in life, or I am going to make sure that my Q1 is top of the line, even though it started off slow. I think that's where it really that's where it really kick in at. What are you telling yourself?
Yeah, and I think John Gordon said the way he said talk to yourself instead of letting your brain talk. You know what I mean? It was like, make sure you talk to yourself, the silence and noises, and you know what I mean? Because our brains can start tricking us. But if you're talking to yourself, and that actually works, because I started thinking about me, even the tangible, like when I'm running, I'd be doing running and stuff, or I'd be out there like talking to myself, like, let's get it. Like I'd be J3, like I'd be saying all these things. I'm like, man, we got to change the game. Like that works, bro. Because you're literally taking control of that situation, not letting it doubt. Because as you're running, you think you're running these miles, you get the, man, I'm tired, man. This hurts, man. You got to outweigh that, bro. You got to talk louder than that noise that is trying to talk us out of doing it. So that's powerful. So again, talk to yourself instead of letting, I don't know exactly how you put it, but it's like talk to yourself instead of letting yourself talk to you. But that's powerful. So next question I have, right? And I want y'all to know this quick. I want y'all to really take notes and do this. We ain't gonna be here for too long. We're here for a short time, not a good time, not a long time. What part of growth do you think people underestimate? What part of growth do you think people underestimate?
I think I already said it. I think the part of growth is failing. I think they underestimate the power in failing. Yeah. John Maxwell, I think I haven't read it yet, but I'm gonna read it because I feel like after the conference in May, I feel like it tied everything together. But he has the book Failing Forward, and I think that's a part of growth that we don't. Nobody. I mean, let's be realistic. That you 18, 24 years old, fresh out of college, I got my bachelor's degree. First thing you want to do is go get the job that's paying you the big bucks. But part of, I guess, the failing part of it is, okay, well, I have to go be a teacher for X amount of, you know what I'm saying? Like it's those little things, and I think that's the part that the part of growth that that everybody kind of gets kind of crazy about.
Yeah, I think it's I think nobody tells you. I think the part of growth that nobody tells you about is the isolation, right? That you're gonna be alone. Right? Like you're going to outgrow some friends. You're going to outgrow some family members. Like you're going to be the one that people look at as like you're crazy because you're growing. You're crazy because you don't do the same things you used to do. You're crazy because you don't want to go to the bar no more. You're crazy because you want to stay home and study, or you want to stay home and be on YouTube in your passion learning, right? Like you're going to start getting crazy. So that starts to become isolation because these people are taking you off the path that you're on. So we underestimate that we're going to be alone until we find our people. And a lot of people opt out and go back to the people that they think are for them because of the long list, not knowing if you keep going, you're going to find some more people, right? Along your journey, that isolation that you're in, you're going to start putting yourself in some other rooms, right? With other people that are on the same path as you. And that's going to pivot, that's going to take you to the next level, right? So I think we really underestimate that because we don't really want that. We want to be with our loved ones. We want to be with our family members. We want them to have what we have. We want to bring them along with us. But when you're on that path of growth and success, it gets lonely. That's why they say lonely at the top. Like them cliche things is real. So the isolation of you getting there, I think that's what people are. In the work part of it, right? The workload is going to be heavy, right? You may bite off more than you think. When you get into it, you really got to work. You got to put in the work. So I would say those things.
E.T. said it. Everybody wants to be a dog. Everybody want to be a dog till it's time to do what a dog does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, so like I did say that again. So I don't let that fast.
Everybody want to be a dog until it's time to do what a dog do.
Yeah. So, as we just said, with the relationship part of some people you outgrow, right? So I wrote like this down. So as people grow, relationships change. So how do you navigate growth without resetting or resenting the people who you are who aren't growing at the same level as you, right? Because that happens. When you're growing, people that's close to you, you want them to grow as well. And if they're not, you start looking at them crazy. Like, come on, bro. Like, you don't see me reading this book, pick up a book. Like, bro, you don't see me eat healthy, right? And that might not just be their time or whatever, but how can, as somebody, because this is going to, inevitably, this is going to happen to the people watching. How can they navigate that?
We really just touched, that's really what maturity, man. You just got to understand that, everybody's not meant to go to the next level with you. I think that's just something that you have to understand as human beings. It's like everybody's not gonna be able to reach success when the same time that you reach it. Everybody has their own time. Yeah, and I think that's just man, you spiritually connected and understanding what God has for you is for you. Favor ain't fair.
Yeah, nah, and that's what I think as well. Some people just got to cut off. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. A lot of people, again, like you said, they time and the folks that are in your life, right? So like your significant other and those things, those people that are with you, you just have to find a way to bring it to their level, right? They didn't. Sometimes when you choose to have that breakthrough in your life, that don't mean that they have to choose it at that same time, right? But it's your job to give it to them where they're at and bring them along with you, right? Give them what they can at that level and hopefully bring them up. But if it gets to a point they're not coming up to your level, it gets to a point that you feel like that person is bringing you back, that's when you got to cut ties. And that's a serious thing, right? Nobody's bigger than the program. Nobody's bigger than the mission. Nobody's bigger than the goal. And I've seen that. I think somebody else said that in the mission. They were like, the mission is the boss. I think if somebody said that, or I may have heard it somebody else, but I heard that somewhere. The mission is the boss. So when you think about that, the mission drives what you do. The mission makes the decisions, right? So our mission is, it cut different. It's the guy, young man on their greatness. If we're doing something and it goes against that mission, then we shouldn't be doing it. We can easily, if somebody around us that attached to the brand and it hurts that mission, you can't be around us, right? So the mission is the boss. So hard, sad, but true. Some people can't be around you. Bring the people that are up. Always get the ladder effect and making sure you can help. You can help as many. You go back and help as many as people you can. If you can't, it is what it is. All right. Good luck next time, bucko. But last question I have for you. So how do you personally measure progress when there is no feedback, no applause, no visible results yet? So how do you measure? How do you personally measure, like you, Eddie Rocker, your progress when nothing ain't moving? Yeah, things ain't shaking. But how do you measure it?
I just look at where I was and where I am. I mean, I like think, who am I? Where am I going? You know what I'm saying? If I feel like, if I see me constantly, and it's just atomic habits, that's what it just came to mind. So building the habits to change from where I was to where I am now. And if I see me really sticking to these habits that tend to be something good, regardless if I'm reading a book, I think we used that before. So reading a book, if I went from not reading a book at all, but now I see myself reading a chapter a night or a chapter every other day. As long as I see like that growth aspect, like I know I'm doing it consistently more than I did before, that's a win for myself. You know, if somebody else may say, well, that's it. All you reading is 15 pages or whatever the case may be, that's a win to me. And I'll just, keep curating that, just building up that.
Yeah, you said my answer. Obviously, who am I, where am I going? That's my secret sauce, man. I truly believe if you understand who you are, where you're going, even if if you don't, you know when there's progress, right? If you know where you're going, the simple thing is reading one page. The simple thing is doing any action is getting you closer, and you understand that. I think when the people don't know where they're going, that's where they don't see the progress, because you don't know where you're going, right? You don't have a destination, so you don't understand it. When you have something locked in, you see the progress. It's not a such thing as not seeing the progress, right? The things you're doing, they're either getting you closer or they're hurting you or they're taking you back. There's no in between. There's nothing you can do that doesn't either get you closer when you know where you're going or take you further away from what you got going on. So there's no excuse of not saying I don't see the progress. When you know who you are and you know where you're going, you're going to easily be able to measure what you got going on. And that's point blank period. So understand who you are, where you're going, and you're going to be locked in. So thing I want you all to take out of this conversation, man, the reward comes later, right? You got to jump in the water. You got to do the work. Again, success and failure go hand in hand, but we got to do the work, all right? It was a delayed gratification, right? Delayed gratification. Now it's going to show up when you want it to, but as long as you're doing the work, I promise you're going to show up. And growth is hard. Growth won't be easy, right? Success and failure go hand in hand. The growth part is not easy. You're going to lose people. You may lose yourself along the journey, right? But you got to be able to tap back into that and understand who you are, where you're going. And again, just getting to the point. So I definitely want to make sure we had this conversation, because we had a conversation about the leadership conference, right? We unloaded you with information from all these high-level speakers, but then you may left and still wrote notes or did something, but it's like, dang, what did I do now? So this is why we want to have the conversation about growth and how growth is hard. And if you're choosing to go down an avenue of growth, you got to be able to willing to do the hard work. So that's what it is. And in closing, man, Eddie, I'm gonna ask you this question. What would you say to someone who is doing the work but feels alone and wonders if it's worth it?
Just keep your head down and keep pushing, man. If you know who you are, where you're going, then by the time you look up, you'll reach the level of the part of success that you're looking for.
Yeah, I like it. For me, if you're questioning if it's worth it, you probably should be doing it. If you opting into something and you have to question, is it worth it? I think it may not be for you, right? if you have to question, is it worth it? It may not be for you. And I say that seriously, but I also say that with a thing in mind of understanding you have to lock in, right? You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Either you're doing it or you're not. And if you question it, that's leaning towards you not doing it. So if you're gonna keep questioning it, just hop out the game. Don't need to play the game. We talk about, in my football days, in between the lines. When we in between the lines, we full speed, right? And you can't be questioning other thing when you play football. We gotta go. So if you question it, it may not be for you. You may need to find another path. So stop what you're doing. Like, subscribe, and comment. Make sure y'all stop what you're doing, like, subscribe, and comment, man. We truly appreciate y'all for watching this episode. Want to come on and give you something quick, man. Something that's not long, quick, that you could take, you could dissect, and you can do something with it, man. But my hope is that when we're talking on here, we're not talking right to say that we are law. Like, you have to listen to us. One thing we hope that we're doing through this conversation is getting you moving, right? Helping you think, right? It's not that we're saying, this is law, take what we say and do everything we say. No, you have the free will and ability to think. We hope through the conversation, through this watching, that we're getting you thinking and putting you into the right decision-making process to be able to make a decision for yourself. So other than that, we got casino night coming up. We definitely got to start dropping our casino night coming up. April 4th, we have a casino night. We're going to get the flyer on here. Make sure we start doing some promo for that. And make sure y'all come in there, man. The proceeds from that event are going to our summer program and making sure we having the best 2026 Summer Leadership Academy this summer. And we're going to keep going up, man. Cut Different Academy coming soon. Rocky, got anything else?
Casino night. See you there.
See you there, man. All right, y'all. We see y'all next time.